Welcome to ForceProSports Laserforce Podcast with your host, Mr. Mischief.
Hey everybody, welcome to ForceProSports Laserforce Podcast. This is a podcast designed for the Laserforce community, competitive laser tag players. And today I'm joined by Asra from Loveland, Colorado. Welcome on, Asra.
Hello. It's pretty good to be on. I'm super excited.
Oh, I've been wanting to have you on for a while. You are one of my favorite players and a real good friend.
You're one of my favorite players. It's mutual.
Yeah. Okay, what is it? Is this like the new way you do a heart? Because like
kinda, yeah.
Okay.
It's like both. You can do either.
Okay. My wife hates this because she has a hard time doing this with her fingers. So she's like, "Why did everyone
so fair,
change
though.
it?" But it also makes you kind of like you show
hard.
off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I can.
And
do.
also sometimes it's just like super fast too. Instead of like the full hand, you can just do that.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, then you can make it like a gang sign.
What's up?
Welcome on, Asra. Today we have a few different topics that I'm excited to just kind of go through with you. We're going to discuss the new downstairs Loveland laser tag changes. We're going to discuss a little theory about openings in Space Marines 5, which is our game mode. But I wanted to start by just asking you about like your story a bit. Get to know the lore of Asra.
Well,
My first memory of you is like you showed up right after West Coast 22. So, yeah, why don't you just jump in? Go for it.
So, my first ever time playing SM5, Simply OK was bullying me for months to get me to come play. Like, pestering me for months on end, because I would always come on Saturdays and play from open to close, just playing regular laser tag. And he's like, "You need to come play Space Marines, like, right now." And I'm like, "I don't know, maybe, perhaps." And I then was free on a Wednesday once, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go play some laser tag. And so then I finally played Space Marines for the first time in February of 22. And then I got super busy for a while, and I didn't start consistently playing until like April, or the end of April to early May. And then I've just been playing since. So I'm on 4 years now. So that's pretty cool. It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how, honestly, it's amazing how not that long you've been around. I now think of like you and your generation of players as though we've had a long history together. But it's been 4 years. I mean, that's not a small chunk of time. Who would I count?
Who would you count as my generation of players? Because like me and Judoku started at the same time.
Yeah, I think it started with you and Judoku. Let's see, I kind of go tournament by tournament because like in West Coast 22, we got Judoku, like a fresh 14-year-old. Then in duos, we had you. And right after that, we ended up getting like the Rook, White Ninja / Sparks, and Blackout, and Lizzie Lizard, and Sabo, and then like right after that Nats, we had the Babe. Am I missing anybody? And then there's like newer ones after all of you that have come in just in the last year and a half. Like we've had a steady trickle. I feel like we've gotten a good 3 to 4 solid, serious players every year.
It's been like exponential growth. It's like it started like with like maybe 2, and then it's like it's doubling each time. You know?
Yeah,
that's kind of what it seems like.
Is there anybody you would consider in that group that I didn't list? I'm kind of looking on the stats right now to see.
No, I think what the people you listed is like who I think of for the most part. And then we have like even newer players that are joining and stuff, which I think is really cool. I love having new players, you know? I just love that. Yeah, I like having our site grow. It's fantastic.
Oh, I
means we're
agree.
alive and thriving.
It's so fun to be alive and thriving, and it's so needed. I think there were, if we look back over the last 25, 35 years, there have been different points where different sites have been thriving and getting active players, having big member bases. Unfortunately, a lot of the sites that used to be in that spot are no longer in that spot, but we certainly are. Like, we actually are in a really active phase right now, and that's cool. It's needed. Like, if we need to have sites that are in this spot.
Yeah. And I really want to keep Loveland going like that.
Why? Why on earth would you want to keep Loveland going?
Because I love it here. It's my home. Home site and actual home. I love laser tag is my home. I just live in laser tag arenas. That's why I have a sleeping bag on me all the time, you know? Where do you think I sleep all the time? I just break into laser tag arenas.
Yeah.
What can I say, you know?
But genuinely, like, that really warms my heart. Because I know Laserforce can feel like home for a lot of people. I think our community attracts a lot of misfits. And I don't mean to use
sometimes,
in a derogatory way. Like, I am one of them. I am one of you. I have certainly felt that way. Like, it's a special interest. It attracts the people who love the gaming aspect of tag and the athletic aspect and the being in a dark room aspect and the black lights and the glow paint. It's a unique blend, but it attracts a really cool crowd of people.
It does. I love everyone I get to play laser tag with. It's awesome. I've made such amazing connections, and I've met people all over the world now. And so it's like, and I'm excited to meet more people and play more laser tag. You guys are not getting rid of me. Sucks to be you. Sorry, not sorry.
Thank you so much. I do not want to get rid of you. A couple more people to shout out before I ask you a little about some of the specific stories you've had. Nami Swan, Sally B, Carson, 9-year-old Strawberry, I think are all important people to shout out.
I love all of them. They're all so silly.
we got 9-year-olds coming up in the ranks, you know? Give us 10 years, we're planting trees now, and those seeds they're gonna turn into redwoods. Just you watch.
I believe like Night Storm 2.
Yeah, Elin. Woo. We got Ben 2, Sam, Ben 3.
So many Bens.
We're gonna build a full Ben team. Watch out, Laserforce.
Well, we're getting to Ben 10.
Yeah. Derek Elderberry, Sheepless Knight, Nick. We haven't seen him in a minute.
He does more laser ball.
What happened to Nate? Where's Nate?
I don't know. Nathaniel.
Nate, come back here right this second. What are you doing?
We need you. We miss you. Please, come back.
Okay, Asra, so it was right after West Coast. Like, you were around, but you weren't playing in that tournament. You had been bullied into it. So you didn't play in that event, but you were around, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I started the very first week of February.
Okay.
So the very first time I played SM5, I was playing Medic. Okay, so technically it wasn't the first time I played SM5. The first time I played SM5 was on a regular Saturday with a staff member. I played Commander. I had no idea what SM5 was. Just kind of got thrown into it, and I'm trying to figure out, wow, I know how to use all these abilities, but I have no idea what's happening. It was me and a staff member on opposite teams, and then a bunch of other people who had also had no idea what was happening. So it was just a very chaotic game. And then I finally got my first game of like serious SM5 in a way, like an actual introduction to it, where I played medic and I was like, gotta walk through how to do doubles and everything. And I'm like, man, I really like this. And then there was a commander game. I was running for like 5 minutes straight because my entire team died. Isn't that always how it goes? First ever commander game. Entire team just goes poof. And you're like, oh, I'm all alone now, all by my lonesome. How sad. And then after that, like, I got super busy doing like a school play. And it wasn't until after that play ended that I was able to start coming more consistently. And since I was staying like walking distance from Loveland laser tag, I would walk to on Wednesdays over and just play games. And it was like I was really shy at first with everyone there. I only really knew John and Judoku was like similar to my age, and we started talking a lot more. And so like those two were the main two people I would yap with most times. And it wasn't until like my first tournament, which was in St. George in 22, which was November, I believe. I played on Caleb's team. It was a stacked team. They just put me in the baby backpack and they're like, okay, we're carrying you to first place here. It was Slaughtermelon, Odin's Fist, Kodama, Disco Monkey, and Rhea. And then little old me with my first ever tournament. They're like, okay, Asra, you're in the baby backpack you go, and we're off to on the winter train. I learned a lot though that tournament. Like that was kind of where I learned how to do a lot more like resets, like resets off of bases, like just more using your teammates in like not just abusing resets, but using them in more smarter ways, I suppose. Like if you're both resupplies, having both resupplies tag the person first and then using one of them as a reset, so that way they're actually fully deactivated again. You know? So there was a lot more specialized, I don't know what the word is, like learning happening. And so that was really cool. Then I played in the duos tournament in 23.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Were there any games from that St. George tournament that stand out to you? Like you played a certain game and had some kind of success, or you failed and you learned a lesson?
There was a medic game I played. I played a lot of scout actually, because we had to play every single position, and I felt like scout I learned the most on. They gave me a task. They're like, hey, hang out in Green Cave, I think it's called, or that green area.
I think so.
Where Green Base was. And just do not let anyone take that from you. That is your space. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Because I had no idea what was really happening. I barely knew the arena. I had a lot happening in life. And I'm like, okay, I can do this task. And that's what I did. And when you give me a specific task, I can excel at that to the best of my ability. And I felt like one of the things I learned how to do was just like weaving between walls to like fake people out where you were going. In a way, it's like, oh, I'm going to pretend to go this way, but just hide behind the wall for a bit and then come back to where I was. But just kind of using the arena more and not just like actually using the arena instead of just walking around it in a way. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
That's cool.
Like,
no, yeah, totally. Like being intentional sounds like it.
Yeah. Having
No,
intention
cool.
behind what you're doing.
Yeah. And like those are good lessons to learn in your first tournament. You were easily the least experienced person on that team, and
for sure.
I think it's a good lesson in leadership there that like, and I kind of talked with Slaughtermelon a little about this in an episode that hasn't come out yet at the time you and I are recording.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's in there. It's in the archives waiting. He was saying like a good way to make players play at their best is to give them jobs they can really excel at, because it like, he had a really complicated word for it, but basically you don't have to think so hard. If it's easy for you to like comprehend mentally, then you can get into a bit of a flow state in doing that job.
Yeah.
And
you won't be in a flow state, not a flaw state.
Yeah, totally. That's good. That's good.
Thank you. Thank you.
At your experience level, it's not that you weren't good enough to do anything. It's that like giving you 5 different jobs was probably going to overwhelm you, but giving you one job you could do well, like that's a good use of where you were at that stuff at that time.
For sure. Because like now I feel like I can handle more tasks in a way, but because like over time with tournaments I learned how to manage things more in a way. Like in 24 when I was captain for the Loveland B team, I was in the back line. I was managing all the things. I'm like, okay, you go here. Now I need this to be happening over here. And it was just like, I was keeping the rat alive for a lot longer than he should have been most games. Like, that dude lived for so long. And he always filled me up on lives. And I'm like, you need to fill the team up, not just me. Because the amount of times I was the very last person on our team alive, and I was forced to run for like minutes straight. I have beef with you still.
Hold on. Go back to duos. Duos. Like Finale was legendary, and I want to talk about that. But you said the next thing after that St. George trip was duos. That was like your first Loveland tournament. So what was that like? What did you learn there?
Let's see, what did I learn in the duos tournament? I finally got to play more positions and seeing like a lot more people, because in the St. George event there was only 4 teams, so it was a pretty small tournament. And then in the duos it was like way bigger than that. Like, was it a super big tournament? No, but like compared to 4 teams it was much bigger. And I was able to meet more players and just see more play styles and how they view the arena. And by seeing how their perspective of it, you can kind of be like, oh, it helps you see new things that you didn't notice before, you know? Because like we play at the Loveland arena the Loveland way. But a California player might see it in a Cali way, Utah will see it in a Utah way. Like, there's all those different perspectives can help you view your arena in a different way that like can help you play a lot better. Help you try new things.
Sounds like the exposure you had to different players from different scenes and different personalities was a big piece of that.
Yeah. That's what felt like the biggest piece of that tournament, was just seeing all, because you also rotated through playing with a lot of different people. You weren't stuck on the same team the entire tournament. You were playing with everybody there. And so you really got to see, like, yes, you played with your buddy the entire time, but you got to see so many other like play styles and see how they worked together, how sometimes they didn't work together.
Yeah.
And it just provided a lot more like information in that way than just a single team, you know?
For sure.
And I just thought it was like a really cool setup, and I was really looking forward to like the whispers of a trios tournament once, but that never happened. Quite a sad event.
Well, a little later on, we're going to talk about the random draw we just did and like some of the ways that it changed the way the game's played. I think duos in that same conversation belongs, as well as trios, because all those events are designed to break us out of like the build a strong team and win kind of format. It's more like we're going to try to build evenish situations and allow lots of people to play with lots of people. And what you're saying just seems like, to me, don't mean to be biased. And by the way, it's not just me. Guy next door is the trio's king. Like he endorses it. Mm-hmm. People want events where they can have a chance at winning games and get to play with lots of people.
Yeah. I like being able to play with people, and just like, I just think it's a lot of fun, because it's like, it reminds me like of Mega Members Nights, but with a more competitive aspect to it. And so I really like that. Because I like the competitiveness, but I also really like being able to play with everyone, not just like the same 5 people. So, yeah.
Absolutely. In duos, were there any standout memories?
My very first game was a commander game against Slaughtermelon and Snuffles 3 hits, and I lost my shoe during that game. Like near the end, my shoe came off, and I'm like, well, so I placed it next to a ref, and I'm like, please watch my shoe for a little bit. I'm going to be running around now. Because I didn't have time to tie my shoe. I was being hunted down, and I'm like, well, I will end Valen, like, as a hero without a shoe, you know? I'll win as
Yeah, what are you
shoeless.
supposed to do when you're getting hunted by Caleb and Dallin?
No, for real. So, but I think it's like a lot of, that's like the main memory I have from it. And for some reason, like, playing against them as 3 hits at this very start of a tournament has happened twice. Like, twice in a row. And I'm like, okay, if it happens again, it's weird. It's weird it's happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
I think, because it happened in the duos, it happened during 24 Nats. I think it's going to happen again, probably. I have that feeling, you know? Nats 25. Beans, if you schedule it.
26.
I swear. 26. Oh, yeah. I forget what year it is, you know? My brain's all, like, I'm still stuck in, like, I don't know what year anymore.
It's been going by
Just
too quickly.
The years be yearing, in a way. For real.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But
all right. Well, I'm counting on you to, since you're getting all this exposure to fighting the St. George 3 hits, Slaughtermelon and Snuffles. Okay. I need you to keep gathering intel for us. We need detailed files on these guys.
Aye, Captain. Don't worry. I have a journal for a reason. It has all the details.
We've already
all
learned that Dallin's feet and ankles, like they are weak if you kick them or use sledgehammers on them. We've seen him hobbled in tournaments before, so that's one strategy we have.
Noted.
But we need something a little more rulebook friendly.
Yeah, that's the struggle, finding the rulebook friendly options. Like, you gotta. I'll look over the rulebook again. Gotta get a little refresher up in there. Find all the little loopholes in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thanks.
Gotta even out the competition in a way. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, for sure.
I will not be
All
held
right.
liable. This is my disclaimer.
No, of course.
Full disclaimer.
This is not me neither. I'm not liable, so you can point and say it was Luke's idea, and I'll point and say it was Asra's idea, and we'll just go back and forth, and no one's held accountable.
Exactly. Perfect. I like this. I like the sound of this idea.
It's like the American healthcare system. Anyway, moving on. That's
Anyways.
24.
That's 24. I was the captain of the Loveland B team, and 5 nights at Loveland, there was a lot of brainstorming on my end with a bunch of team names, and when I proposed team names, the 5 Nights at Freddy's reference of 5 Nights at Loveland was the winner, because it was a bunch of kids and the rat.
Who was the old... Yeah,
Kids
okay,
in-
so the rat was mid-20s, I think. The rest of you?
The oldest was 18.
Yeah, cool.
So, and then the youngest was Sparks, so that was like 2 years ago. He's 16 now, so when he was 14, I think. But
Yeah.
He was short
Bradley
then.
was 14 and 2 feet tall. It is so
Yeah.
fun to see the differences when I look back at the stream.
it weirded
Okay.
me out the one time I was reffing in Fortress, like way after, like in like this year, I think. Hello, cat. And my cat just walked in. I was so confused, but
your cat is welcome here.
yes, hello, sorry. But I was really weirded out when I finally saw him make the jump shot in Fortress, and I'm like, hold up, 1 sec, time out. Since when are you tall enough to do this?
Yeah.
Like,
Man.
That
wasn't back
What is
then,
it?
right? It was recently?
very recently, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm like, it just took me a second to finally process, and I'm like, huh, what?
He's got some crazy moves. It was amazing how good he was at the age of 14. Like, when you're figuring it out, like, okay. I remember, like, when the team was getting constructed,
Yeah.
you know, I think we're far enough away and we're good enough friends at this point. Like, I'm just gonna call it out. Like, we had first built the Loveland A team. There were a few iterations. There was some rebuilds, and you were on a couple iterations of that team. Like, we had straight up, you were a Loveland A team member.
Hurrah.
Absolutely. And ultimately we went a different direction, and we've talked about that. But I do think it's important to say, like, we had a lot of trust in you, and you were a big part of our scene. And that was absolutely a synergy thing, or like a certain roles thing. But when it came down to building the B team, like, the A team was helping a lot, figuring out the pieces to it. And I remember early on, there was a lot of, like, I think there was a lot of talk of you scout or you heavy, just because of your responsibility and maturity at the time compared to everybody else.
I think it was more scout, there wasn't as much talk as me heavy. It's been more like me heavy for, like, this upcoming Nats, but, like, in 24, it was mostly scout and ammo that we were talking about. And then we decided on ammo for me. And so...
Yeah, and we were surprised at that, because, like, also the rat, we had never seen him really play anything but scout, and that was, like, what he was really into. But yeah, once Bradley kind of, like, showed his stuff, we were like, okay, we're thinking that is probably the answer at heavy. It was just like, he just came in a little later, and we were like, whoa, okay, cool,
like,
this guy.
Perfect, this works out.
When you came in as the ammo and the team captain by vote of your team, honestly, I was like, that I was a little unexpected. I was not expecting that. Why was I saying it that way? I was not expecting that. Maybe because you seemed a little more shy. But at the same time, like, what were you, like, working as a manager at your job?
I was a trainer at my job at that moment.
Like, how was that for you? Were you wanting that? Were you expecting that leadership role?
I was, like, somewhat wanting the leadership role there. like I I was happy to do it. I was like, it kind of turned laser tag slightly into a job for a bit, but I still really enjoyed it. I liked using my like off block in school, like my free time, to like just work on laser tag stuff and just like watch the POV videos and just like get all the intel and be like, okay, this is what I want to like try and figure out. This is how I wanted to kind of do a practice once, like different lineups, different like stuff with that. And I really enjoyed that aspect. It was probably like, I still do enjoy that aspect of like just analyzing stuff. I'm an analyzer. I'm a scientist, you know? And I just like, I love just looking at all the data and all the information and being able to like make decisions off of that. And I felt like as the team captain, I was able to do that, like while it wasn't shown as much out of the game, because I was still like, when I'm outside the arena, I'm a pretty quiet person for the most part. Definitely have improved drastically, but I'm a very different person from inside the arena and outside the arena. When I'm in the arena, I am very much like, I know what I want and where I need people to, what I need people to do. And I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen, guys. This is the plan here. And so that worked out really well for our team because being ammo, I was able to focus, manage like the front line in a bit because I could play out more, and then also help in the back line because I could manage like resources and be like, okay, who hasn't come back, who like needs stuff, like where's everyone at, and like make sure that people are going where they need to be. Like, hey, what are you at with resupplies? Oh, you're fine, get out of here, you know? Just like keeping things organized was really helpful as being ammo that way. So
it sounds like you it's like, was that your idea to kind of put yourself in that shot calling role, or how did that come together?
I think I just kind of started doing it. I don't really know if there was really much other like influences to it. I just was like, because out of my team, I was one of the more experienced players, and so like people were looking to me for like answers and stuff, and so I'm like, okay, well, let me attempt this. So I would do my best I just decided like, I think if I shot call and like help people make decisions and where people need to go, that would help our team out, you know? I felt like it was like unconscious decision, you know? Like, I wasn't really like, I'm going to be the shot caller. It was more like just, we all kind of understood that's what was going to happen.
It seemed like it was really organic that you became the leader.
Yeah. That's kind of like how it was.
Absolutely. So. No, that's really cool. I'm kind of asking about like how it formed, because I think the strategy and the synergy was uniquely good for a B team with Five Nights at Loveland. The pieces all fit together really well. I particularly like the roles that like Judoku and the Rook filled. They like I know that took a little bit of balancing. Like, how did you work with those two?
Judoku was able to like fill in spots that our commander was taking and was able to hold angles in that way. And then the Rook was able to help like the commander push and be a lot more aggressive in taking those plays. We were able to just allow him to kind of do whatever. We wanted to make sure we were setting him up for success, like with shots and everything like that. So allowing the Rook like the ability to kind of go out and do things was really helpful because Judoku tends to play back a bit more and just hold angles, and that become missile bait sometimes. I'm looking at you. I'm calling you out, buddy. Stop eating the buffet, okay? Save some missiles for the rest of us, okay? Like, you don't have to take all of them. But, just, like, we were able to help set people up for success in what they excelled at. Because Rook played a lot more out, like, a lot more aggressive and out there. Judoku played a lot more back. And I was able to kind of fill in spots that were needed as well sometimes. Like, poke out, take shots that were, like, as the commander was coming up, as whatever was happening. But I found, like, it just worked out really well somehow. It, like, just, like, we drew our cards and it, like, it just worked out, like, super nicely. Like, all puzzle pieces that fit together well. And it just, like, we all helped each other out, like, with what we excelled at. And it just kind of, like you said, it came together organically. It just worked out a lot.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's almost a chicken or the egg thing in my mind. Mm-hmm. The fact that it worked out organically helped make the team really good. But at the same time, there were huge questions on who's playing what and how's that all going to work early on. And like your leadership really mattered there. Like, that's not just something you lucked into necessarily. If you weren't playing that glue role and you weren't being the leader, well, it would have fallen to the next person in line or whatever. It always tends to.
Yeah.
But I think you were a huge credit to why people were able to play their roles. It's kind of like what happened with you in your first tournament with the Goon Squad, that they, like, gave you straightforward jobs. You know, you were often assigning straightforward jobs to people from the ammo position, and it's like you made it easy on your team.
Yeah. I just had, like, my plan in mind, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna designate this job to you, this job to you, and this job to you. And then to the rat, I'm like, you're just gonna hang out with me, and I'm gonna keep you alive as long as possible. And you're just gonna keep us alive as long as possible. So
that's the last piece of the team I wanted to ask about, was your connection with the rat. Like I said, he only ever wanted to play scout from my memory. We called the red base spot Rat Hole because of him.
Yeah.
And when he stepped on the medic, one, I was like, whoa, he's willing to do that. And then two, his style was awesome, and it worked really well with yours.
Because I was really good at shielding and stuff, like providing shields for my medic. And he got, when I told him to run, he knew exactly where to run to. And he knows how to hide and skitter around downstairs, because first floor was his home. He, like, when he plays scout, he just lives on first floor. So he knows, like, all the nooks and crannies and where to hide and stuff. And it just worked out really well, because anytime I'd give him a shield, he'd know, I need to get out of there. He would not just start, like, idle animation, you know? He would understand to move, and that really helped out a lot with what we needed. And then he also listened to me, like, a lot. Like, he trusted me, and I think that trust also is what helped us in, because we built a really good strong friendship too. And so we'd hang out, we'd talk, and then when we would play, we would just keep that friendship going. And it's like the communication, just all of it, was taken into the arena as well. And so it just kind of, like, worked out really well, because it was like I did all the thinking. He just had to do what I said, and he was perfectly okay with that. Like, he's like, I don't have to think. Fantastic. I'm just gonna be here.
Man, that could be a very interesting discussion in itself, is like the autonomy of players. Coming from, like, I think one way that we relate is, like, I think throughout my career, I've been in that same spot where, like, I'm very analytical. I like to put people in places and think about the game. And part of me just kind of enters assuming this, like, chess player role. Like, I want to move all of you to your spots to win us the game.
Yeah.
I want to coordinate the pieces. And
that's exactly kind of how I think.
And absolutely. And I have found myself sometimes annoyed by the autonomy of people and like, why can't you all just be like autonomous or like soulless zombie shells that I can move around? And I think that for me, that was always like kind of an immature way to think about it. It is also very selfish. It really falls into like dynamics. For Pollux in that moment to be the rat, like the medic for you in that role, like it worked great. You worked well in that moment with someone who was a little more like, I want to take orders. And if that's how you're going to play, you need a player who wants to take orders. There are some positions that you don't want a player who just wants to take orders.
Yep. You want a player that is able to make their own decisions and is to make decisions that benefit the whole team, you know? So.
Totally. Something that I think was absent from your team from the outsider's perspective, like, it was resentment. I didn't feel like anybody was resentful of being told what to do or like not liking the dynamic of the team. Which is really important. Building teams nowadays, I try really hard to like get a sense up front, like, hey, what do each of you want? And like, if I assumed this role, how would you feel about it? Because last thing I want is for someone to be just like hating my guts all tournament because I keep telling them what to do. I think I've been in that spot before and I don't want to be in it again. I'd be cool like working alongside players or even being the follower. I'd rather have one game plan for the team than 3 different plans.
Yeah. Like having everyone on the same page, that's like top tier. That's the best goal in the world. The best plan is being on the same page about what y'all want to do. Totally. Yeah. Even if it's a little silly, as long as y'all are on the same page for it, it's going to work out. Will it work out the best way? It's more likely to work out. Yeah, exactly.
Like if you have 2 different plans the team's following, the chances of that working is like 0. If you have one bad plan, the chance of that working is at least like 25-30%, you know?
Yeah. And so just like, because if everyone is on the same page, they know how to coordinate together to reach the same goal. Rather than just having all their separate goals and being like hoping that we're all on the same page with their goal without fully talking about what their goal is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Better for all of us to follow one bad plan than for everyone to follow 6 good plans that are all different. So, Five Nights at Loveland was really successful for a B team. The only B team I know, like, there have been some pretty dang good ones. I'm thinking of BDRL. I'm thinking of Detroit's B team in 2019 that took 3rd. But for you guys being all rookies and most of you under the age of 18 is freaking incredible. Like, the players that placed below you are far more experienced and some really renowned names. So that's cool. You were strongly the 4th place team. Go ahead.
I was so excited. When we got to 4th, I was like, this is where I wanted to be. I was so happy. And I'm like, during our final game against Cedar City, it was like we tried our best still and we gave it our all. And it was just, a lot of us were just so excited that we made it as far as we did because for most of us, this was our very first Nats. For pretty much everyone on that team, it was their very first Nats. And for a solid chunk of them, it was their very first tournament as well. So it was like it was a really cool experience just to be able to like excel with a lot of support, because the A team, y'all helped us out so much, like with practices, with like letting me hang out with meetings and stuff to help my team out. Like, y'all helped out so much, and I appreciate everything you guys did for us.
First of all, you guys were good because you had the fortitude to practice against us. Okay, we've had plenty of B teams in the past where like it sucks to practice against the A team. You get beat over and over and you just want to quit. And I'm not saying it was easy. You know, y'all had times where it was really tough to keep motivation. Mm-hmm. We had to keep telling you don't have any idea how strong you're getting because you're fighting us.
Yeah.
And then it paid off, and I think that's when it clicked.
Mm-hmm. It's like there was so much struggle in the months like leading up to that tournament, because you're constantly getting your butt whooped, like served on a silver platter. Like, it gets a little demoralizing after a while, but you don't realize how important that is until you finally see it pay off when you actually compete. Because it's like, we performed extremely well in like a lot of our games, like against the top 3 teams. Like, I came out of a game once and I was so proud of like how far we came, and I started bawling my eyes out. I was so happy and so like proud of what we were accomplishing, you know? So.
Yeah. It was really worth it, and it was really yours. And I think that's the other thing I'd say. I've said this to you before, but I kind of want to say it again just because I'm stinking proud of you. And I want people who have been in similar spots to know this as well from your story. Like, I really hope I get to play on a team with you someday. And I'm sorry you weren't on Loveland Phoenix, but you did something. You made your own thing. If you were on Phoenix, you might have had a similar situation to your first tournament, being in the backpack. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
And I think you would have done great. You would have done exactly what we asked you to do. You would have done your job well. But I don't think you would have grown much
as I did creating like and building that team, you know? Absolutely.
And everyone on our team would I think they would have stories of how, except for Jarrett, sorry Ghost, that was your first tournament. But we all had to really struggle and build our own thing too. We never had an A team to fight against, but we had to go out as the A team and take 8th place, 7th place, heartbreaking like losses, and just not having teams to even practice against.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that NAS 24 forced you to become a truly much stronger player. And I am so cheering for you and everyone on that team to like continue growing from that.
Mm-hmm. It's part of the reason I'm super excited for Nats this year. Like, it's like Finale Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, you know? Like,
it kind of is. Yeah, it's 4 out of the 6 original players. Mm-hmm. It is very exciting, and I want to hear about it a little more. But first, there was a little minor trip across the globe to Brisbane that I'm just curious about. I want to let you just tell it, you know.
I loved going to Brisbane. It was so much fun. The only downside was I wish I got to play more laser tag, because I unfortunately was dealing with some tummy issues. Not the vibe. 0 out of 10 would not recommend. But being able, like, the games I did get to play, I loved that arena. It was so cool to just see it, and the ramps were a little slippery if you didn't have good shoes. But other than that, and also airlock was such a safety hazard. You had to slowly walk through it to hopefully not trip and fall. But I think Brisbane has such a really cool arena. I like the 2 floors, the open plan it has, and it reminded me a lot of Loveland in a way. When I was describing the arena to someone, I said it reminded me of Loveland and Syracuse mashed together for some reason. Because the part of Loveland is the multi-floor kind of you have to have the awareness to look up and down, you know? But the part of Syracuse is your heavy and your commander, they're alternating a lot more. They're not just sitting in one spot the entire game, like in Loveland. They're alternating. Your scouts are also a lot more spread out. Same with your ammo and your medic. It's not as clumped together, you know? And I thought that was really cool. I loved watching the games I did get to watch. I really wish I got to play more. That was the only downside the entire time. I was let me out, let me play.
I can't imagine the agony that you faced just literally being there in the building and you couldn't play.
Yeah, we picked up a 7th, Angel. Love her. She brought such a good vibe to the team and was able to help out when I couldn't play. And so we were able to split the games a lot and reffing a lot. And honestly, I think she helped us out a lot with what we were doing. And so I really appreciate her. And then the Babe, absolutely with captaining our team and managing all of that, super proud of him. Sabo and Lizzie Lizard, they were playing super well that tournament as well. I would have loved to see Liz play more 3-hit. I think she would have excelled at that. Because especially on heavy, I think it's even more solidified now that just the way she plays heavy, she would be doing fantastic in that arena, straight up. I'd be there with my pom-poms just cheering her on, you know, go Liz, woo woo woo.
I'm just curious, that whole tournament leading up, it was I had just gotten married and there was a huge FOMO coming from me, and I wanted to help you guys out. I was giving you guys extensive notes and being part of some team meetings, and I think for the most part it was welcomed, right?
Yes.
Y'all wanted it. Okay, that's kind of what I was going to ask. How much was it wanted? And it seems like it was. In a way, I think I might have missed out on a lesson that I learned a while ago in that, because we had started team practices for you guys. We wanted to give you tons of experience. We kind of locked you all into roles, and I tried to say, hey, does everyone like these roles? Does everyone want these roles? Cool. And so we practiced with you all on like the same roles over and over and over and over again. And like, I think we had Lizzie on medic. And
yeah, it was medic and scout.
Something I failed to consider is like, when you get to new arenas, sometimes because every arena plays different, like the lineup that works at home is not the best lineup at the new arena. And maybe it's possible that in Brisbane, Liz would have been like the best heavy.
Yeah.
It's hard because like, sorry, go ahead.
I think like, I really wish during the practice night we were able to test more stuff out. And even just like testing out stuff in the days upcoming to the practice night, because the Saturday before, or it was the Friday, we were able to play from like early to like late at night, like just straight SM5. Got so many games in that day, and it was like I was having a lot of FOMO that tournament, you know, like I wanted to play so badly, but physically couldn't. And so I felt like I was also slightly screwing my team over in that way, because it's like I was supposed to be like the shot caller again with ammo, because I was one of the more experienced players on our team. And then it was like, well, trying to help out with like the games I could with watching like the scoreboard and trying to like just support them, you know? But it's a little bit of a challenge when you are physically dying.
Yep.
And I really appreciated all the advice you gave us, the little like letters you wrote for us, the like extensive notes. I made a whole like, we made this Discord channel where we had everyone in there, and just like I made a whole section of just all your notes, so they were all like compiled together, you know?
That's cool.
Oh, also RNT Redneck Tech played out of his mind. Like he did so well too.
I've ever seen him
my
play.
Goodness. I also loved playing with him when I did. Like, and he's such a cool dude.
He is.
I get to play with him for Armageddon this year. So excited for that.
Let's go.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
That's awesome, Sammy. I hope you do well in that. Oh, why don't we move up to this year? We've waited long enough. So you're on Loveland A, going out into 2026 Nats. To this day, we have not beaten you guys 6-on-6. That's teams that me and Josiah are comprising. Like, you guys are the legitimate A team at our site. Tell us a little about how things are going and like what you're looking forward to in this tournament.
I think things are going pretty well. We have to, there's like a little bit of struggle like getting on the same page with some of our goals, but other than that, like we do want to like play to our best ability for our site. I'm really looking forward to playing with this team. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's like, we haven't really fully decided what roles we're going to be playing, because a solid chunk of our team has not been to Syracuse yet. And so, and also like Sergeant Tucker, who hasn't been there in like years. So me and the babe, we're going out to Syracuse next week for the little shindig in April. So, well, as we're recording it's next week, but time is wonky. We'll see. So I'm super excited for that. He'll get like his first like Syracuse experience, and that will be getting a lot of like details and information to bring back for our team and about the arena and how it plays, so that way we can best prepare them the way we can. We forced all of them to sign up for the Laserball section of that tournament.
Good.
Because like you're getting that arena practice whether you like it or not. Okay?
Oh man.
So Judoku, I don't care how much you dislike Laserball, you're playing Laserball.
Yes. That is so good. I'm so glad that you at least saw this is arena exposure. Be in the arena as much as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like pretty much everyone on my team is getting there for like all the like couple practice days they're doing, just like the fun, just random member night days they're gonna do up until like the practice night. And so I'm like, good, get as much arena exposure as humanly possible. Like, we want to be ready for this. So I'm really looking forward to the fact that I have no idea what I might be playing. I might be playing 3-hit, I might be playing resupply or scout. Honestly, it's really up in the air, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm just going to fill in whatever position like my team needs, and I think that's really cool that like I'm not locked to a specific thing at the moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like out of stuff with Syracuse, my heavy game might be the strongest, like, of all my positions, but I'm down to clown with whatever, you know? I'm just excited to play. My goal for Nats this year is to play laser tag and to play the full tournament and to kick some butt, you know? Be there or be square. Like, we're gonna I'm just super, super excited for it. Like, I have so much like energy, and it's coming up really fast now. We're about 3 months out from recording here, like, because it's in July and we're hitting the second week of April already. So it's coming fast. So I am hoping we get like more practices in. I want to kind of start hammering down on things a bit more and just like hitting the grind, locking in, you know? Just like you lock in with school, we gotta lock in for the tournament. So
What level of intensity is your team going at, would you say, out of 10?
That's where we're kind of need to get on the same page in a way, because some of us want to go like with a high intensity, some of us are just going because they want to go play laser tag, you know? And so I want to like figure out what our team goal is as a collective group. And then once I think we figure that out, then we can tailor how we want to practice and how we want to like attack those certain things better. Because right now we're just a bunch of dudes playing laser tag. We need to become a unit here. So
Absolutely. I've said in the past, Nats isn't for fun, and I think I'm starting to amend that statement. Nats isn't for fun if you're trying to win. I think that's how I'm going to amend it. You can totally attend Nats for fun. And if you're a really good player, you can not try your hardest and still win games, maybe even win the tournament. But I would argue that the last 3 teams that have won Nats have been absolute eye of the tiger, like dead serious, all locked in.
yeah.
And I wouldn't expect to win if you're not bringing the fire.
And my personal goal is I really want to show that Loveland, we're pretty fire, you know? I want to show up and kick some butt, okay? So y'all watch out.
No, I know you're hungry. Yeah, if it's any encouragement, you know, like I think people do tend to feel more hungry once they get to the tournament. Once the atmosphere is there and like all the teams are there, people do change.
And it's like, I think once June hits, there's going to be like the realization of like, oh, it's like almost next week in a way, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's when it's gonna finally click, like for all of us. That's like, oh yeah, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, like, you're not professional paid athletes. There's a huge cost mentally and physically to having the fire, this metaphorical fire. Like, I am going to go out and murder people. I'm going to crush this tournament. I'm going to prepare, and pay that cost for months before the tournament. That's the exception. That's not the norm. Most people are probably just going to, like, show up and hope to have a good time, you know, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little more forgiving now, but I am going to say don't expect to win if you are not ready to compete with really hungry players. Like Cedar City, all those guys super hungry. They want Loveland blood. So if half the Loveland team doesn't care that much if they win or lose, like, they're gonna lose.
I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm feeling pretty famished right now, but there's only so much I can eat here, okay? Like,
takes a village for sure.
Exactly.
All right. Want to talk about some arena changes, or do you have any other thoughts about Nats?
I don't really have any major thoughts, like, regarding Nats besides, like, I'm just so excited for it, like, literally, like, vibrating with excitement, so.
Excellent.
I'm just, like, really looking forward to it.
Good.
But.
So I think
Loveland
Oh, go ahead. Good.
Has some new fun things now with its first floor.
I agree. I think this is, I think this goes right alongside the new generation of players. Like, we could pull up pictures of, like, the old Loveland when it was more like laser tracks, and there used to not be a third floor. Then there was a second floor, and then they added the walls on, they added a third floor, they added the walls on third floor. And we've talked about this new generation of players. We listed, like, a good 10 to 12 people that are kind of the new guard right now. And honestly, I think this new update that LLT is doing is really symbolic of, like, the changing of the guard.
Yeah.
We called ourselves our Nats 24 team Loveland Phoenix as though we were rising from the ashes. But what I actually think is funny is I think the better analogy is that our Phoenix grew old and had its, like, final boss fight and died, and now now Loveland is back to being a fledgling Phoenix that has risen from the ashes, right? That's you guys. And with the new guard comes a new arena that you get to innovate the metaphor. Like, we never innovated this. This is brand new.
I love seeing, like, so I've been playing a lot more Laserball lately, like, and that's very first floor specific, you know? And just seeing, because with SM5, I do play on the first floor sometimes. I don't get as much first floor exposure, because still a lot of the gameplay happens upstairs, unless you're getting pushed downstairs, but even then, there's still, like, a lot of confusion and trying to go back to the, like, old Loveland with playing in the downstairs.
Real quick, would you describe what we did to the first floor? Just for those of you, because we only held one tournament recently. Loveland changed its downstairs. So, Sandy, what did we do? So,
good old pencil, up and gone. Like, so that left half of the arena where green ramp is does not exist anymore. Right? Left? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't have my map that I normally have. I can try to find it.
I can send you. I have a map.
Oh, do you have the new one? Oh wait, no.
I will send you a
the babe sent me one. But yeah, if you send me a screenshot, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I also.
Okay, send it and I'll share it, and then we'll talk about it. Bum, ba, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-da-dum, bum. Elevator music. Ba-da-ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. While she's doing that,
Oh my goodness, what is happening?
this has been a long time coming.
don't
These
mind me.
downstairs changes. I just want to say I've been asking for them for a long time because the meta in Loveland has been you got to take top floor. Downstairs is lava. You're gonna die if you get pushed downstairs. And I won't spoil what the changes have changed on people's opinions about it, but at the very least, like, these downstairs changes hopefully make the downstairs more viable to play. I think that's the overall message here. You able to find it? I think I can pull it up from Gabe's message.
Yes, I did send it over.
Oh, I think it's coming. I think my internet's a little laggy right now. Got it.
You got it?
I got it. We're good. Okay. So let me try this. I apologize, by the way. I'm in my office right now. I'm on my laptop. It's not the highest processing speed, and I think the stream that I'm recording is lagging a little bit, so y'all are going to have to really be forgiving with
They
the
can
audio,
bear
I
with
think.
it.
Yeah, it's fine. They can bear with it. Anyway, here it is. It should be coming up. There we go.
I see it.
All right. Why don't you describe what's new?
So on the where blue base is, that all that blacked out area, that's where pencil used to be. So blue base is now a lot more closed off. There's only an entry from the right side of it. But because you have, along with green start now is at a different place. It's right at the ramp, which is under the moved area. That's our new green start. Where the not to scale is, that's where pencil used to be. And
Yeah,
that's
this whole
completely
ramp.
removed now, as that is the pathway to mini golf. And so and then we have the changes in Red Cave, which are, it turned into a more horseshoe area. We call it horseshoe. There's more Red Rock has changed. It's a lot more closed off than what it used to be. And we also have what we call K2. We stole it from Brisbane. Get wrecked. We named it Kitchen 2, which is that back wall area
K2.
because it just kind of reminds us of Kitchen. And that's kind of our new back wall into blue base. Kind of jumping all around the arena, but there is like red base hasn't really changed, blue cave hasn't changed. It's mostly red cave and blue base specifically that has changed.
And what's your overall impression of the changes?
I personally really like them. I think it makes downstairs a bit more viable now. And also, like, I think it just makes it a lot more fun to play. Because it's like, it's all new. And I love seeing, like, new things. It's just always a lot of fun. And learning how to play it and, like, creating the new meta for it is really cool. There's still a lot to be learned from the new arena, the new floor. That lined area by the blue square is a cover where you can't shoot down, so it's a covered area for blue base. So it makes it kind of a more defensible area. We're still learning how to play that defense area, but there's I personally really enjoy like the new first floor. And like I said, I've been playing a lot of Laserball like on Tuesdays, and I think Laserball has like greatly improved with the new first floor. I find it so much more fun to play.
Really?
Yeah. That's my hot take. I will die on that hill. What makes it more fun? It just feels more like organized in a way. It feels like it's more practical to play on the first floor now, because you don't have shots that go straight into like either base anymore. You have different ways to defend, different ways to like play the game, and I just think it's really cool. I'm looking at it on my I have a screen in front of me as well, and so that's why I'm looking down. I'm just staring at the map. But I find that like the new arena, like the new first floor, has been like a lot more engaging in a way. It provides, I just personally really like it. I don't know what else to say about it besides it fits the vibe.
For sure.
What are your thoughts on that first floor?
I felt kind of neutral about Laserball, to be honest. I think there's I think it affects blue a lot more than it affects red. Red ends up being pretty similar. But blue is now, you basically are defending from one direction. There's this total bottleneck right here where you can't really get into the blue base except through one direction, whereas before there was a back area to get in from. So to me, I think it's like, man, do I prefer red where I have to defend two directions, or do I prefer blue where I have to defend one direction but all the firepower is going to come from that direction?
I feel like it kind of evens it out.
Think so?
Because it's like you have all directions you have to look, and then you have just one direction, but with twice the strength in a way. Because if you get a double push from either, you're kind of screwed either way.
I suppose.
Because with
in theory,
red you get pinched, and with blue you can also end up getting pinched depending on where you're standing to defend. Because we're still trying to find the best way to defend blue. With red, you can kind of just stay in one spot defend, but with blue base, you kind of want to be moving around and not just staying in one spot to defend. I find my favorite way of defending blue base is right out in the open, and which feels really odd, but you get the most visibility, and like you can play with like levels by being like standing up, crouching down, and that kind of helps with what to do.
Yeah, I would agree that it kind of balances out, because we've seen it. I haven't seen like a major disparity in like win percentage on either side. I do agree in the open is pretty fun. Like, I don't like to be in the back area. 'Cause there's this unique thing which I really like, where if you're on one side of blue base looking out, you cannot see the other entrance. I think that was brilliantly designed. I don't want there to be one angle you can see all the entrances from if you're standing way back here. I want it to force you to pick a direction. That's good arena design, I think.
I really like that.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what do you think about Space Marines? Yeah, how do you feel about it in terms of Space Marines, where we use both floors?
I think it's a lot more defensible than what it used to be. I think it can be a viable resupply spot. We still need to figure out kind of where to place people in a way.
Agreed.
Because we still need to figure out where people should be standing. because you have that second floor you have to look out for. You have the pencil switchback, I suppose I'll call it, where they can look straight over into blue base. And then you have like the second floor. Luckily, their shots into blue base from second floor are mostly like blocked off, but they're still like, because there's a panel like right by that green line there that's like blocking that shot there, from second floor into blue base. Whoa.
Yeah, right about here.
Yes.
And right up here.
Yep. And I think that really helps out. It's mostly just figuring out how to defend against like the first floor and that like rampway. Once we figure out like good spots to stand, good positions to play at, because there is like, you can tell when someone is in there. You can see where their lights are. It's because it's kind of dark. You can see exactly where they're standing. Whether they're like in deep, whether they're in the corner, they're more on the edge. And it's like you have to be really careful with where you're standing, because if people push in from either direction, there are shots from K2 into blue base that get pretty like, are a little gross, but like clean, and can be a bit painful if you're resupplying. But
so, okay. We don't know where to stand yet. I agree with you on that. I think that will hopefully become more of a meta with time. I think right now in members settings, people are going pretty autopilot and they're just kind of running into the cave that's nearest to them. But I think all three
kind
of these areas...
Blue cave.
Blue cave. I've seen red cave too. I think all these areas are designed to be potential recovery spots, whether in K2, in the horseshoe, or way back in blue base. Let's say, Sammy, that you and I are on a Nats team, and you're ammo and I'm your medic. Tell me the plan for what we do if we get pushed downstairs. Just in these early stages, like, what do you think is the optimal strategy?
So I think like if you get pushed downstairs from red side, red cave, it tends to be your strongest area at the current moment. You could have your ammo facing red rock and your medic kind of like in like, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. So you can have your heavy where that explanation point is in a way, and your medic on the opposite side watching, but I would have your ammo kind of facing red rock and towards, but which feels odd, but there's a method. There's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Because your heavy would be able to watch from that ramp down into red cave, that entrance from where they're standing, and they would be able to hit that if they're just like kind of walking around between those two walls where that explanation point is. They're able to help defend, like stop attacks from red rock, stop attacks from like K2, and when people come down the ramp, it just like where that second rock is. I think that's a really viable like resupply spot on like red side. And then with blue side, for now, a lot of people have been playing like the regular old blue cave strategy, kind of with your medic in that far corner, your heavy right under in that cubby by the ramp, and your ammo kind of just like wandering a bit more. But that was kind of like what's been existing for a while, so I think that's where a lot of people are comfortable. And with the new area, I've been looking at trying to figure out where good spots would be, and I think your medic would hang out in the actual blue base, like right under the blue part. Because because they would be able to, one, not get reflect shot, not like they'd have a solid protection. Ammo would kind of float around, and your heavy would stand more in the open in a corner, being able to watch both angles from like of those entryways and on the ramp.
Sorry, this is so overloading my computer right now. It's trying so hard to hang on, but I pulled it up in Paint here.
I also have my little screen.
Oh, you got a tablet? Okay, cool.
I do have a little tablet. Here's my little picture. There's a lot of glare, but this is kind of my idea there. But
absolutely.
Trying to figure out the best way to explain it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we don't really have a lot of names for that area besides just blue base.
Right.
Because red base, we have Rat Hole, the actual red base, near Red Rock, Portal. But for like blue base, it's just blue base.
Yeah, we've kind of got Hollow here.
But a lot of Space Marine players don't really know about Hollow. It becomes more of a laser ball call out in a way.
Well, our Space Marines better start playing more laser ball.
Exactly, especially with Syracuse practice. That first floor only, guys. It really helps.
And there's a lot of times when the game, all 12 players are on one half of the map, so it's not like you're spread out the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did call this Llama, like that's technically the name for this. Shout out Brahmatized. I feel like, so we got Red Cave and K2.
Or like Top Red.
What do you think we should call this?
Top Red is where that rock is.
That's what we're calling it?
Like Top Red is where that rock is.
Who named it Top Red? I want names.
I have no idea. Like, I think it just started existing because it's like you had the bottom of Red Cave, which was Red Rock. You had Red Cave, and it's like, well, there's this top area of Red Cave. I think Top Red would be a pretty good name for that.
I disagree. I think
like
you should come up with something
Cave,
better that doesn't start with doesn't have red in it.
Let's see. What would be a good name for that?
So we got a lot of areas down here.
Got a lot of reds.
Obelisk. We got...
Oh, my cat is snoring.
Pharaoh. We got Torch up here. Yeah, playing laser ball helps you get really acquainted with this area.
Yes.
Like, I feel like this area up here, this little zipper area might be good to give a name.
I like Zipper.
Zipper.
Because, like,
just
right now,
in process,
currently,
you know?
Like, because, like, the red side of the arena has so many names. Every area is labeled. But the blue side, it just has one general name for, like, an entire area. So it's like, oh, they're going Blue Cave. What part of Blue Cave? Are they near Nest? Are they closer to Blue Base? Are they, like... Where are they in Blue Cave?
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Anyway, now that we have totally renamed everything, a super official. No one can argue with this. This is on the official ForceProSports podcast. Okay. Yeah, this feels just like a foyer area. Like there's so much transition between areas right here.
Yeah.
Could call it octopus or squid because like there's 6 legs on this squid. I don't know.
Ants have 6 legs.
Ants have 6 legs. 1, 2, 3. I guess there's actually 5. There's 5 entry points into this area and a head. Could call it ant.
5.
Ant hill.
Ant hill.
Freddy's.
I like
5
ant
Nights
hill.
at Freddy's. Ant hill.
I kind of like ant hill because it has the rock there, you know? That could be like the hill.
All right, here we go. Ant hill. Asra declares it.
I'm going to start. Yeah. My word is law from here on out.
Hey, you're the
for
new
this
generation. You guys need to make some names up. It's your arena.
Exactly.
Okay, anthill. Here it is. We're gonna start calling it that tonight. Okay, you and I are gonna start saying it. We're gonna try to get it to catch on. Anyway, can I share some thoughts about where I think the new downstairs resup areas might be good?
Yes.
All right, I'm giving away just some early thoughts, but it's partially because like I need people to catch on to these. I like we need to actually give them a shot and put some intentional effort. I think people are really scared to try things out right now.
A lot of things labeled. Like I have so many different areas labeled on first floor. I just gave like the 2 major ones that I think are really good, but there's so many little areas I want to try, you know?
Yeah, totally. Okay, one I have right here. It's just this really simple setup with the defense. So I put the heavy right here on the bottom right. Okay, they're kind of in the open.
Mm-hmm.
But what I discovered is that if you put the medic right here, they can't be seen from outside of this entry point on the right. And they can't be seen from the left entry point. And the heavy can see both entry points.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is one of the very specific, unique positions where the medic is safe and the heavy is looking at every angle. However, right now, we need to cover up the area above the medic because they can get shot from second floor.
Yeah.
I also think blue base just has a ton of potential. When my team is resupplying in blue cave, I keep telling them like, guys, let's just move to blue base. Why are we standing here? If they come down, they're going to immediately get shots off on us. But if we go to blue base, right, like just as simple as sticking the ammo and medic back here and putting your heavy, I don't know, you can just put them right here or right here or something, or right here. Like, this is
it feels like you're looking at my map.
Defensive area. Yeah, like you were just saying these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is so much more classically defensible.
Did you steal my map?
Lovelanders just don't have experience with this kind of thing, but this is so common in other arenas.
I think it's like a little spooky because it's new.
And change is
spooky
scary
because it's new and stuff, but I think it's like, yes. But I think like blue base, when we finally like actually start using it, I think it's going to be like really hard to actually break into it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When we unleash
that last
its full
area,
potential.
You had one more, right? That I didn't put down. Why don't you give me one more idea that I can actually put on the map here?
I mean, you could attempt to do K2 as a resupply or Old Red Start, but...
Old Red Start. I think that's so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
Just like ammo medic back here, and then you're kind of defending llama or one of the other areas, just kind of keeping them distracted. Agreed. And
kind of floating in that like wall.
Yeah, agreed.
Hallway area.
And my random draw team, Dorkness Rising, we made K2 our resupply spot. This is where we went every time. If you can have somebody sitting out here, like you can stop it all from. You can generally control a lot of area. Yeah.
I'll fully show you my map tonight. Don't worry.
Okay, looking forward to it. Well, anyway, I have something to share about the bottom floor. I'm gonna close this out. No, we don't need to save that. We're getting lengthy enough that we might consider. We can still do the openings discussion in a minute, probably. But I have remember I did like that poll for the random draw.
Yeah.
So I want to share some results real quick from that.
Ooh.
So I haven't revealed these yet. There we go. So I said, what did you think of the changes to Loveland, the new downstairs, blue base K2 horseshoe? We had 26% say, I love them. They make the arena more fun to play with. 43% say, I like them. They improve the experience. Three people, 13% neutral, and 17% I dislike them and prefer the old arena. What do you think about these stats?
Honestly, I honestly agree with it. I can see, like, that's what people are thinking, because I think the arena has a lot more positives to it, and a lot more people are, like, viewing it as, like, neutral or more, like, positive, in a positive light, rather than just, like, this is absolutely awful. Because there's no one who, like, said that it, like, was absolutely, like, atrocious, you know?
Yeah, no one said it ruined the arena, which is cool. But like overall, this is extremely positive. If 70% of people like or love it, I think that's a positive. And by the way, just huge shout out to John, Simply Okay, and Gabe the Babe for making the changes. They spent a long time downstairs moving walls around. That's out of 23 responses from Random Draw. Second question, would you consider Loveland a more survivable, beginner-friendly arena? We have 21%, absolutely not. It's the same King of the Hill, unforgiving death cage that it always was. 21%, it's not, but it's slightly more forgiving than before. 52%, the arena is the same at its core, but the changes make it more survivable. And one person thinks the arena has new life and can be played differently with these changes. That might have been me. Actually, I might have said that. Well, but what do you think?
I think, like, it's still very similar in its core, right? It's a King of the Hills type of arena, but there's a new life downstairs that is more survivable. It's just like during that random draw, it's still brand new. No one really knows what to do with it yet. It's still something that's being learned. It's like we had some ideas on what to do with it, but it's not like, oh, where's the thought? It's different, you know? But I think that while it's still the same old, like, King of the Hill, like, you want to have that third floor and second floor control. But the thing is, you have more of a survivable chance downstairs to last long term, to the point where if the team that has the upstairs makes a slight mistake, you're able to have enough resources to hold down to be able to push back up.
Yeah, I at the very least, like, I hope that's the case. I hope we see more and more downstairs survivability and better chances at recovery back up to the top floor. I'm pushing a little harder, though. I think even if that wasn't my response, I lean towards the arena has new life, because I am just so curious, and this would take a lot of experimenting and evolution but I am so curious if there's a world where downstairs becomes just as good or only slightly worse than having upstairs, if played correctly. I think that's very idealistic of me to say or wonder about, but I'm not just going to be like, oh no, it's not possible.
I think it is possible.
That's just not, you have to at least try, right? To find out.
Because, like, if your entire team is downstairs and you spread out in a way that, like, has the control, the way it has protection now over, like, from certain shots on second floor makes it so much more defensible. And, like, you can stay, like, alive for longer. You don't need to have the second and third floor at that point. Because it's not like they're able to always make the same shots from that control the first floor from higher floors, you know? They have to come downstairs more to actually do damage.
Exactly. There are definitely upstairs shots that still help, but something that hasn't really been mentioned yet is the nerfing of the upstairs. Because looking from the third floor or second floor down, a lot of the old long angles are no longer there. I used to love standing on the red switchback, but now, like, there's a wall blocking my angle from most of the first floor. It's like I can see a little piece of it, but not the whole stance.
Yeah. So it's like, I think it forces the upstairs to have to actually come downstairs if they want to do damage now. And that if the downstairs team can abuse that fact, that it's like they can just turn the tables on them, you know? They don't have to be upstairs.
Right. There was the first night that we had the new downstairs, there was a game that was like a 7-on-7. I was playing ammo and I was being really aggressive. I think it was the game where Corbin got 13 medic hits on my medic while I left him alone. But I went downstairs
oh my
to attack,
goodness.
and Sergeant Tucker and Loki were scouts, and their medic was holed up in blue base, and I kept trying to break through, and I had 3 or 4 teammates downstairs helping me attack, so it was like a brawl. But Loki and Sergeant Tucker spread out and took angles all across the first floor, and it was like walking through like one of those laser maze rooms with the tripwire. Like, maybe there is merit to like drawing the enemy team in towards a goal and just farming them for points.
Yeah. I think it makes first floor a lot more viable. It gives it like, it has a lot more potential now.
Potential. We just got to be brave enough to learn how to use it.
We got to give it a chance, you know?
You do. Like, your generation. This is your new first floor.
We will.
Like,
We're
you are
going
discovering.
To give it a chance.
We haven't discovered this yet. Is Loveland downstairs defensible? 34%. It's certainly much better than it was before. 47, almost half. It's slightly better than before, but still not very defensible. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And 17%, not really. The changes don't make much difference.
I think with this, it's like there's still a lot more positive outlook that it has improved. And I feel like the ones that say there wasn't much of a difference are ones that never really played downstairs, like during the tournament. Because there were certainly teams that never really touched the first floor.
Yeah, some of them didn't do as much as others.
And so I feel like their view of it was like, I mean, it's pretty much the same as before, you know, in that way, but I think it's definitely improved. We just gotta be willing to try new things, you know, like, and give it a shot. And we're going to give it a shot. That's the goal here.
Totally. And that's all I got for the downstairs. I'm still really surprised by this poll. What's your favorite position to play? 5 people said heavy weapons is their favorite position in Loveland. That is surprising to me.
I wonder who said that.
Psychopaths said that.
That actually might have been me.
Oh, really? Heavy's your favorite position in Loveland?
I really like heavy in Loveland. I like heavy and ammo in pretty much every arena I've played in. I just really like those positions. I feel like I can do a lot with those positions. Well, heavy in Loveland is pretty stressful, but like I enjoy playing it, you know? So
I'm glad you like it. I hope you keep liking it. I hope the new changes make heavy more fun than ever.
I really want to play downstairs heavy. I haven't really done much downstairs heavy. We gotta start tonight. We gotta start a game where we're just downstairs the entire time. So, get some new openings going, you know?
Yeah. I'm up for having that discussion if you want. We're coming up to the 2-hour mark. How do you feel?
I'm yapping, so like I'm down for whatever.
All right, cool. Before we move on from the downstairs, I have a few more stats because I'm a stats monster, okay? So there have been, from my experience, there have been 5 Loveland tournaments that have ever happened. Internationals 2015, West Coast 2018, West Coast 22. Oh no, there are 6. Duos 23, Nats 24, and Random Draw 26. All right, so we got. This is all we've ever had. Random Draw, out of a bunch of stats I collected. Let me ask you. So we're going to keep it to the 3 tournaments you've played, all right? Duos 23, okay. Nats 24, and Random Draw, okay? Those are your 3 options for all these questions.
Okay.
Which tournament had the lowest elimination rate?
I want to say either, let's see. I feel like the Random Draw, because those games were running long every time. And I remember Sergeant Tucker complaining about how long they were running.
You are correct, easily correct. I'll share my screen in a minute with all the stats. Okay. But Random Draw was the lowest elimination rate in Loveland history by a wide margin. It was a 68% elimination rate, whereas the next closest was West Coast 22 with a 79% elim rate, still 4 out of 5 games. But when you think about the most recent tournament, Nats 24, we had a 91% elimination rate, the highest in Loveland history.
Yeah. I knew for a fact it was not going to be Nats, because I'm like, we were eliminating teams left and right. Y'all were eliminating teams left and right. Like, so. And a lot of games came close or in that. So.
All right. In Internationals 2015, 11 years ago, there was a perfect 50-50 win rate for red and green. In West Coast 2018, 22, Duos 23, Nats 24, all had a red favored win rate. Did that trend continue for Random Draw 2026?
I'm going to say no.
You are correct. For the first time in history, green had the higher win rate, 54% of games.
Damn.
Yeah. It swung 7 points from 53% in Nats 24. Or a 47 for green in Nats 24. Okay. I'm going to do one more question for you.
Okay.
Let's go with... All right. As far as commander scoring, which had the highest median commander scores? Duos, Nats, or random draw?
Gotta think for a second. I feel like it's either going to be the duos or the random draw due to the fact, like, there were a lot more wide varieties of commanders in a way, but the fact that there were a lot of more wide varieties of commanders could lead to it being a lower median than, like, your strongest players being commander. So it's like, could go. So which one had the highest median?
Yep. Which is kind of like highest average, but it doesn't allow the extreme.
It's like the middle number.
Much. The middle number, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like the mean, which is the average. So then, because we're not thinking of averages right now, then.
No. It's kind of the average. It's just like, well, it's a typical.
It's like, it's the middle number.
It's the middle, yep.
I feel like a typical commander score is like 7,000, but I feel like that's too high. I feel like they'd be lower for some reason. But like, depending on the tournament, it can be like 7,000.
Which tournament out of the three do you think had the highest?
The highest? You know, we're going to go with 3 of 3, the random draw.
No, I gotcha on that one. It's the second highest. Duos.
Second highest. You know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
It was one or the other. So, you know, I was on the right page.
So, random draw had 2 big things going for it. First, it was the arena changes, and it was the format changes, having the, attempt at the even-ish and the tiered matches. But to be fair, that was also kind of the intention of duos, was to create even-ish matches. But random draw was a record breaker in almost every category. So I put gold for if it had basically the biggest change. So
like gold, silver, and bronze?
Yeah, gold, silver, bronze. So random draw 26, the elim rate was way down from the previous 2 tournaments. West Coast was the second most survivable, and Nats 2015, way back in the day.
It's the third lowest, but that's still like an insane amount.
Yeah, down below 70 is crazy. Having green be the better side is super new. We've never had that before in all my years. Red's always been the advantageous side.
Yeah.
Scoring on every position was up massively. The average scores in every win condition except red eliminations, that was still pretty low.
Yeah.
But this tournament, with the arena changes and the format, really just made things different. I would also point out that Nats 24 was easily like the least survivable, one of the most brutal tournaments in history.
I remember almost every game ending in an elim. So.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, there you go. There's some stats.
I love seeing the stats. It's so cool.
Okay.
Thank you for all the stats, Mark.
Oh, I love stats. Let's do, I don't know if I have a whole hour in me, but let's do a little dive into openings, okay?
A little crash course, a little TLDR.
A little discussion, okay? So I want to start with a little slideshow. I want to show
goodness.
you, I want to take you and the viewers on a journey through 8 famous openings from Laserforce Space Marines 5. There's no Laserball example, I cut it. I'm sorry. Okay. So when we talk about openings, we're talking about like the first 15 to 30 seconds of a game. The part you can really control what the first or second move is going to be. And we can talk about like what an opening is, what goes into it in a minute, but I want to do some story time. First, we're going to need all the Aucklanders to cover their ears. I was not around for this one, but it's famous. So the Brisbane Wall, this is a real life photograph from like the 2010 era. But Auckland hosted a Nats, and as the story as I've heard it goes, Brisbane was in finals, and having never done this before or shown this card before, they find a little back wall area that's like a hallway, and they all just turtle up in a firing line. Auckland had never seen it before. They didn't know how to break through it, and Brisbane just stood there all game. Anytime somebody tried to break through, Brisbane shot them 6 times at once. I suppose at some point they must have got their bases, maybe not. But they walled it out. And they won internationals with this strategy. The Loveland Wall, another photograph, in Detroit 2019. Loveland A tries to do a Brisbane Wall against their B team. Their resupply deactivates the entire team at once, giving them all shots and lives, right at the moment that the enemy heavy walks in and breaks up the wall and sends them all scrambling. Loveland A lost that game to Loveland B. A different opening, a very different outcome. Internationals 2023, the U.S. West players will talk about how their opening in the finals was we're going to all charge the top floor, a very aggressive F it we ball maneuver that they had not utilized throughout the tournament that caught the enemy team off guard and led to them winning internationals. This is round play in Internationals 2024. Cedar City Sentinels throws a curveball at the Phoenix. They send their heavy onto second floor and their commander onto third floor. And they take, this is the only game that Loveland Phoenix lost in the entire tournament in round play. This surprise opening changed everything and it took a game off of us. In finals, gotta credit us, Loveland Phoenix, we send both of our 3 hits top floor to counter the counter that Cedar City Sentinels had in place. And we immediately are able to take third, our resupply battle slaughter melon, and we push their resupply onto first floor. I'm so sorry, Asra. In finals against the C Team Brisbane, enemy commander Scraps rushes straight through your guys' team and takes your resupply spot before you can get there. I believe that's you standing there like, hey, I need that.
Yep, it was. That's rude. I can't believe he stole it.
A few games later, Brew from US East does the exact same thing. You can see him standing in Old Man Than's spot. A game that I don't think leads to a win, but a very close game. And finally, Brisbane B attempting to do kind of a crazy board flip, taking the Brisbane A's resupply spot at the beginning. According to Taipan, like he had seen this coming and it didn't work. but they attempted something big to take a game off of Brisbane A in finals. So I shared a bunch of different openings with you there. I was particularly attempting to point out ways that some of these openings have led to major success in their past and major failures in their past. They sometimes work, they sometimes don't. But it's clear that changing openings is a big deal. In our last 3 internationals, in all the finals matchups, we've seen different openings being utilized.
Yeah.
So that being said, I think different openings are important and here to stay, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on that little history lesson.
I like the history lesson. I like learning about laser tag lore. I think when it comes to like different openings, it's really important that like you save new ones for like when you need it most. You don't want to like just do the same, like if you're going to do the same thing, you do it multiple times, and then that way when you do the new thing, they're not expecting it. You don't want to just keep alternating this same thing, new thing, same thing, new thing, because then it becomes just opening 1, opening 2. It doesn't become a new thing anymore. And it's like, you want, if you're going to try a new opening, you have to like make it a surprise in a way to catch them off guard. And sometimes it works out fantastically. Sometimes though, you get screwed over, and it's quite unfortunate when that happens. But I feel like a lot of the time when new openings happen, it's because it's like more of a, at least with certain teams when they do it, it's more of a, you know what, screw it, who knows what's going to happen this game, let's try something different. And sometimes those plans just like work so well. There was one where Loveland was playing Detroit, and they just, in the Loveland arena, and they just stayed downstairs at the start and did not go up, and they just went up the other team's ramp, I think. I might be remembering that wrong. I don't know. I feel like I've heard that story.
I don't think that happened in 24. What tournament do you think that was?
No. Like, it was way before I started playing. I think I heard that story from John. I
bet that was Loveland B in West Coast 2018 against St. Detroit.
That sounds right.
Yeah, they definitely took games off of them. So like that's a good example, I think, of like assessing your situation. I would say Loveland B was the underdogs in that game. And if you're going to be underdogs in a standard opening, it might behoove you to consider doing something to throw both of your teams into a little bit of chaos.
Because sometimes you need chaos, you know?
Well, I think, have you ever played chess?
Yes.
So, like, they study openings. And you can study openings because every game, you start with the opening, and you can get to know 3, 10, 50, 200 opening possibilities and get to know them pretty well.
Yeah.
You see them over and over. But the mid games and the end games, they're a little harder because they're so unique. And oftentimes, a really good team will have a super good understanding of a bunch of openings. So if you make an opening where both of you are uncomfortable, in a weird way, it almost levels the playing field. We're both uncomfortable. Neither of us know what's happening.
Yeah. It's like, if I'm not going to know what's happening, you're not going to know either. We're going to be in this together now.
Have you in your time playing utilized special openings?
I feel like the main special opening I've done was that I found was really useful was when I went up to second, there's that choice to go through to big box, that area, or you can go around behind Baja. And I made the decision to go around behind Baja as commander and just wait for like a couple seconds, because the heavy, I wanted to make sure my heavy won the trade or didn't get pushed down. My heavy lost that trade, and so the enemy heavy was pushing in, and I was able to down that heavy and stop that push before I was able to go into closet and then start wreaking havoc.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, because I would think, why would she be doing that? I mean, did you have a reason to wait there? Were you hoping something was going to happen?
Yes.
It was just to protect your heavy?
So I was like, I noticed I was going to wait there for a second to see if any of the resupplies poked out, if my heavy won the trade, if not. And so, or if the enemy heavy was going to push, maybe I can get one or two into them before they get into the resupply. And so I just wanted to play a little more safe before I then just was able to because if I was able to stop their push their initial push, then I would be able to help my team out more and buy them some time to reset up in that. So.
Okay. Yeah. So that's an interesting one. I kind of made a few notes about openings here that I can go through. One of them is there's openings and then there's counter openings.
Yeah.
If you were trying to I want to put myself in a certain position or get my team in a certain position, that is an aggressive move. We're going to make an opening that puts us in a certain position. But when I think of a counter opening, it's much more we are going to set up an opening that prevents the enemy from having a certain opening position. You sitting there in Baja could have resulted in a bunch of different things the enemy team would do, but one thing that you were going to make sure would not happen is that your team loses third right away.
Because my scouts were going into big box and taking that area, so I'm like, okay, they're going to be able to maybe manage the commander a little, or the other scouts. They'll be able to distract a little before I go out. Because it's not like I was going to spend a long amount of time in that area. Because if the heavy loses that trade, it takes it's the first 15 seconds of the game. So you're only really waiting there for 5 seconds. So 5, maybe 10 max. I don't even think it's 10. 10 feels too long.
The thing about an opening is you don't know anything past those few seconds. It was my only plan is I'm going to be in Baja, just make sure this one outcome or two outcomes don't happen, and beyond that, I'm improving.
Yeah.
Which you kind of got to do. Yeah, good.
I kind of just read the vibe of the game in a way. I don't really think through things that much, which sounds bad, but I just read.
No, there's lots of players.
I feel the situation. I'm like, okay, I just feel I know what to do things without fully thinking it through, without doing the full process of thinking.
No, and that's perfectly fine. There's lots of players like that who are really good at the game. I also think that attitude is sometimes necessary if you're in a members night or a random draw kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to have somewhat straightforward jobs, in general. We need to know what our goal is. And if you're on a structured team, you can have that planned out ahead of time. If you don't have that, you need to be able to just be okay, what feels right? You got to make decisions. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So you bring up an interesting piece of openings as well, in that it can be a whole team opening, or it can be just one player choosing a different opening.
Because I still did the Loveland meta of the commander going to second floor, but just the small decision of which direction to go on second floor and whether to wait or to just keep moving. That's where that change was in that opening,
That's interesting.
And
I have literally never thought to try that. like to wait in Baja and help out my heavy. Never thought of it.
And like, I somewhat do the same thing when I'm on green, but instead I fully haul it to red side where big box is, and I see if I can stop the red heavy from their side of the arena. It's like, I prefer playing on red side, and like, I don't know, I just kind of do things. We just do what feels right, you know, for the game. But
your attitude, I think, is really helpful for not being surprised by enemy maneuvers. Because, like, if I were the green heavy on that situation, I'd come up and I'd expect you to pop around the corner and we're going to double. That's a very, very, very common opening in Loveland. And then we both back off, and then we start the battle for second floor.
yeah,
But right off the bat, no commander, huh? And I have to suddenly make decisions. Is the commander downstairs? Where's the commander? Should I push forward? Should I push back? Suddenly, I'm already thrown into a little bit of chaos because the game's not going how I expect it to go. And that's when people have to start thinking and they stop vibing.
yeah. You just gotta stay on the vibe train, you know? Just gotta hang out. Go with the flow. Be in a flow state.
I bet that's a huge part of why some people don't like trying new openings, is just because it makes you uncomfortable. Like, you also are in an uncomfortable spot. Or at least an unfamiliar spot.
Yeah. I definitely say unfamiliar, and that just like the uncertainty with it is what makes it like a little nerve-wracking, you know? A little more stressful.
A little exciting.
Exactly. We love excitement.
I would call it exciting. But also if you're like newer to the game is already plenty exciting. Maybe you don't need new openings. Totally fair.
So
I have a list of questions that are good for considering if you at home want to make your own openings. Be curious what you think of these, Sammy. So, first of all, what is your desired outcome? What are the potential counters to your opening? How likely is it to work? What is the win condition for the game as a whole based on your opening? How does the opening help you reach this goal?
I think those are like really good grounds to start planning what your openings are going to be. Is like, what are your win conditions? What do you want the game to turn out to be? Is it like, are you facing off against a team that's super like a lot stronger than you and you need to try and throw them off? Are you facing teams that like you're on level with? Is just trying to having the idea of like the plan going in is really helpful. However, you want to make sure you're able to go with whatever happens, because things will get countered. That's inevitable. Things will always, you never know what will happen because people are unpredictable. It's like, while people may be predictable in principle, but like in actuality, it's like you don't fully know what decision they're going to make. Something might determine them making something that's like completely like, where did that even come from, you know? And I think that's what keeps the game super exciting, is that you can't fully, like, if you could fully predict every single move someone was about to do, like, it would just be really boring, you know? It'd just be like playing the same piece of music constantly, like the same hot cross buns. I don't know. Or you gotta get new music and new challenges in your set, because like otherwise you're gonna lose that spark of like enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the joy aspect for sure. I think people like feeling like the game is exciting. I would also point out the tilt aspect. Because if you go into games expecting them to do a standard opening, I've really had this before happen. My team will do something weird in a members night, and the enemy team will get really frustrated, be like, I thought we were playing for real. I thought we were trying. What the heck, guys?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, buddy, I am trying. I did something you're not expecting. Come get me. Mm-hmm. This is part of the game. Who said I have to put my commander here and my heavy here?
It's like we have the choice to do whatever. It's doesn't mean you're not trying, you know? Like, new openings doesn't equal not trying. Just playing the meta doesn't mean you are trying, you know? It's based on perspective in a way, but also it's like you have to be open to the idea of different things, because otherwise you're just going to get frustrated whenever things don't go your way, you know?
We have strong evidence that it is trying harder than the people who just want to do the meta. Mm-hmm. The last 3 finals matches had new openings. This is the highest level of play that we currently have. And, you know, trying to tilt the enemy team is a strategy. Mm-hmm. You know, if I can do something weird at the beginning and get them frustrated at each other because, like, maybe they're not a unified team, they blame each other a lot, that is a fun team to try something new against, because they will start to blame each other when they lose their base right away, or you know, they're getting frustrated because just by losing in the opening and being confused, that can spark anger in people, and that can be a total downward spiral.
Yes.
You got to actually enter every game not knowing what they're going to do.
You got to be ready for anything.
It's a good mentality that you should practice in members night.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely one of my talking points. I just wanted to say, like, I think people should not only be willing to try new openings and create new openings, but I think members night is the best place to try them. It's the safest. There's no consequence. Like, if it fails, then it fails. In fact, you could try an opening 5 times and just keep refining it in members night to see if it actually has potential. Stop giving up on openings after it doesn't work the first time.
Because it's
brand new.
It's like our downstairs.
Go ahead.
It's like our downstairs. It's brand new. It's unfamiliar. You can't just like say, oh, it's worse than what it was before. We haven't given it a shot yet, or enough trial and error to figure out whether it's actually going to be like really good, because we don't know yet. It's still just a baby, you know?
Heck yeah.
Thank you. Hold the applause.
I agree. Finally, I have a little bit of a idea about the future with openings. I bet that as the level of play keeps rising, we're going to run into a situation where the real meta is kind of a rock, paper, scissors thing. That there'll be higher levels of play, maybe less games that are purely determined by skill level. And maybe we begin to come up with, if teams begin to practice 2 openings, okay? Let's say that your Nats team just has 2 openings. The enemy team doesn't know what you're going to do off the bat.
Yeah.
If you only have 1 opening, they know what you're going to do off the bat. Just having 2 openings, that changes everything. And I'm gonna start to wonder if, like, we're gonna enter a phase where there's like multiple metas, 3, maybe 3, and like they counter each other. There's the meta, there's the counter to the meta, then there's the counter, and the original meta beats the counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could see that becoming really common in Nats.
Yes. I think that'd be really cool. Like, really, really cool. Because you just have more options, and just, you don't know what's going to happen. It's not like the same thing every time. And I think that's what makes the game super exciting. You know? So
I know. Oh, I know. I agree with you on everything you're saying. This is very fun, and it's been honestly a little bit of like this is a nice podium to stand upon and shout at the masses for a minute.
yeah.
So, do you have any suggestions for people who maybe feel uncomfortable with new openings?
You're only allowed to complain about the opening after you've given it enough shots to show that, like, it's actually worth complaining about.
How do you know when you've hit that point? Because I could just try it once and it may not work, and I'll be like, that's dumb.
You have to give it more than one shot. You have to see through multiple teams, multiple trials, because if you want to know if something is sound or something works, you have to give it multiple trials, you know? Because sometimes, think of it like cooking, you know? Sometimes the recipe works out fantastic the first time. The second time you make it, it absolutely fails. I'm going to throw myself under the bus here. I struggle making minute rice sometimes. Like the first 2 times I made it, I like made it really badly. And I'm like, it's not like, oh, it sucks, I'm just like gonna give up. No, I'm gonna keep doing it because I know it can be done well. Like, there's hope that something will like work out, you know? And if like I kept trying and no matter what I did, like after like multiple many trials and it still didn't work, then I could be like, okay, I'm just really bad at it. But now I've like made it multiple times to the point of like I can make it perfectly fine now. It's like, just because I failed the first time doesn't mean it fails every time. You know?
I like that. I think it's a good note to start wrapping up on. I think it's time to go actually play some tag and try some new openings.
Exactly.
Do you have any final words for the people or anything that like you want to share?
Laser tag is the only correct sport and it's a lot of fun to play. That is my final words.
All right. It's a laser tag podcast. I can't really disagree with that. Only correct sport.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, Asra.
Thank you for inviting me.
One of the new things happening right now is I have shifted my Patreon. All the funds are now going to helping Loveland players travel to away tournaments. Every donation for ForceProSports will go towards that, to helping our Loveland players get out to events. Because it's expensive and we have a lot of young people. So please, I've updated the Patreon. Please check it out and support our work. Thank you all for listening. Asra, thanks for coming on. Looking forward to...
Thank you for having me.
Still looking forward to your battle plans for beating Slaughtermelon and Snuffles.
Don't worry, I have them. They're
awesome.
They're brewing right now.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Adios.
Thank you for listening to Force Pro Sports. Subscribe to the channel and get cool perks by supporting our Patreon. Play Laserforce and become part of this era's next great sport.